Joined now by Mr. Andrew Morris. He's the CEO of SQI Diagnostics, listed in Canada SQD, in the US SQIDF. Andrew, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Don. Glad to be back.
We had a great interview 2 or 3 weeks ago. Why don't you tell us again what the company does?
Yeah, sure, thanks. So again, just rehash, we're leaders in respiratory health and precision medicine. We develop and manufacture a portfolio of respiratory health and precision medicine products. We've got a 15-minute test, essentially, that helps do a couple of things. The first thing is we actually diagnose a donor organ that's waiting to go into a transplant patient. So we determine whether the organ is going to do well or not well in the patient. And we've used that technology and focused it on even bigger markets in the emergency department and the ICU for patients with respiratory health problems. And there we help doctors triage patients to either send them home to save the system money or to treat them more aggressively, more quickly than they otherwise would have, saving the system money by treating them sooner. And it's a 15-minute test, a disposable cartridge that runs on a small $5,000 instrument.
So that's so much better than transplanting the lung and maybe having the lung not work out for that particular patient. That's remarkable.
No, for sure it is. Like, I mean, the real win with the lung transplant products is that during our multi-site, multi-country studies, what we found was that right now about 80% of lungs are being thrown out, the donor lungs. They just go right into the bin for a variety of reasons. Like some of them, just are physically in not any good shape. But there's a lot of there are a lot of organs that are that where the doctors just don't know whether they're good or not. They might look good, they might look bad. There's this whole category in between. So our test provides a quantitative, fast result that lets the surgeons make a quantitative decision, either a yes, no, or even a maybe. I mean, sometimes they'll use a lung that's in the middle category for a patient that really needs a transplant. In other cases, they can put the best lung in the best patient.
So basically, this is on the market now. Any idea about the market size, market potential?
Yeah. So, I mean, with the lung transplant product, our customers are using it in research mode right now, but the market's pretty large. It's in the lung transplant market, we estimate that for the lung, kidney, and liver, we can use the same test and apply it to different organs. That this is an over a $400 million market. The real big numbers, though, come into play with using that same technology again in the intensive care units and the emergency room, where we get to markets of over $1 billion. And in those markets, kind of the best comparable test for people to think about is the cardiac troponin marker, or the heart attack test, as people kind of think about it, but for the lung.
Well, that was my next question about other organs. Are you anticipating expanding into that?
Yeah, for sure. The lung for the organ transplant part of our business was the first. We used right in our backyard here in Toronto, we've got the world key opinion leader in lung transplant medicine. And so we went after the lung first. But these biomarkers are equally addressable to the kidney and liver, which are bigger markets than the lung transplant market. So we've got a full clinical plan that's going to go after kidney and liver after lung.
What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now as CEO of this company?
Always, Don, always financing with a biotech company. I mean, we've got the right team. We have all the capabilities in place. We've got clinical, regulatory, manufacturing, medical expertise, science expertise. We just need to continually raise a bit of additional capital to get us across the finish line.
Well, CEOs of public companies have two jobs: running the business and running the public company. And sometimes the two don't work hand in hand.
It's always a full-time job on both sides, no doubt. We do have really good, strong, supportive, long-time financial shareholders right now. So that's always been a benefit to SQI.
You recently streamlined your operations. How are you holding up with that?
No, it's really good. I mean, it's not good for the people that we let go. Okay, no doubt. As an empathetic leader, I certainly understand that. But the team that we've got behind, we've carved out some of our older legacy business, and that was actually taking a lot of overhead. So now we've got a very focused, tight, highly technical, young, vibrant, startup vibe crowd that's really attacking our core markets in this point of care business with respiratory health.
What can we expect from the company in the balance of 23?
So, we've got some really good commitments out to our big partners on the TorDX lung, the lung donor side, and on the RallyDX side. The next big milestone is to deliver them working prototypes of the products on this system in the summer. So that's not very far away when you're talking about healthcare companies. And we're also then starting a clinical study for our. This is a breath biopsy machine, and it's used for lung transplant patients post-transplant to monitor their being infected by a very common fungus, and also to monitor them for rejection of the organ. It's just a simple breath test, a biopsy, instead of going in with a needle. And that should be really well progressed this year as well.
Such a fascinating company, SQI Diagnostics, SQD in Canada, SQIDF here in the United States. Andrew, great update. Thanks so much for joining us once again.
Don, thanks for having me on. Anytime.